What I do, it's you know who. I am 3/4 Monster, and today I'm bringing you another tip video. Today's video is about how to play fast without the aid of perks. Now let me just show you real quick the class I'm using. You'll see I don't have any perks to aid in my speed. I don't have lightweight, I don't have extreme conditioning, I don't have dexterity, I don't have fast hands. I don't have any perks that would help me go quicker in any situation. So I'm going to tell you how to play faster without those perks. So when you add those perks on, you suddenly get you could be way more aggressive, more quick, more flexible, be at the ready quicker. So let's start with the one that I found the most useful, a tip by one of my left analog buddies, Alpha. It's when you go up a ladder or you're climbing onto something. If you knife the object before you climb, you will be ready at the aim faster. So first, let me show you real quick what it looks like when you're climbing up, and boom, that's your scope in time. So you see there's an animation that pulls the gun, it swings it over your head, and it gets it ready. So I'll show you real quick how fast, while holding in L1, that's as fast as it goes. Now you're like, that's pretty fast, but watch what happens when I knife the ladder before I go up it. You see that? Instant. The animation to pull the gun out over your shoulder is gone. It's virtually not there. So you see the animation to go over your shoulder. Now when I knife the ladder, I'm at the ready. I'm ready instantly. Again, I'll show you one more time, knifing the ladder, and I'm there. You see how quick that was? There's no animation. So it makes climbing up objects like ladders and stuff a little bit more safe, because a lot of times there'll be guys waiting up here for you or whatever, and if you knife it before you go up it, your gun and everything is ready to go quicker. You could shoot faster. I'll show you just shooting the gun. Ready to go up the ladder, and that's the time to shoot it. Now if I knife the ladder as I'm going up it, I'm shooting it instantly. Now neither of those shots are way on because I was aiming with the sniper rifle, not down scope, but you get the point. It goes way faster knifing. And now the next thing I want to talk to you about is what I was doing there is I was walking up to the ladder, climbing up it. What you want to do on objects that are tall is if you have to go up this way, if you have to climb on the tall object, jump at it. It'll cut your time down in half. Because I'm jumping up onto the ladder around this height, it's already cutting my time in half. And you could do the knife trick while jumping, just knife in the air, and you're ready to go. So again, this is just a little tip to get you going to places faster. Now let's look at a different area that's not a ladder. Say you want to go climb up on this. Instead of running up to it and then grabbing it and lifting up, the animation is slower. But if I jump to it and hold in the jump button as I get to it, I'm at the ready faster. Now you can do the knife trick to anything, but it becomes a little bit more complicated as you're doing it jumping up on things. So now let's take a second to get into the more nitty-gritty is assessing your route. Don't just run and go up objects that you think, if you know there's a guy there, you just want to run and jump up it. Say this window, for instance. Let's say that you know there's a guy in the window and there might be guys spawning behind you. Don't just run and jump up into the window like this, because you could get shot from the back, you could get shot from the front. Sometimes it would be faster to take the extra steps around the corner, go up the ladder and come up the other way, rather than pulling yourself up and around and through. Assess each situation and know exactly how you want to take it, how you want to do it. That's something you learn as you play the game more, is what to do in each situation on the fly. You learn that as you go. Again, jumping instead of just climbing. I could walk up to this wall and climb, but that takes an extra second just to hop up there. And again, my gun isn't even ready. As I'm walking up here and climbing, it puts my gun away. If I walk up here and jump, I'm already up here. I can shoot my gun anytime I'm jumping in the air. Another thing I want to point out is when you're running, you can't shoot your weapon. There are perks to aid to aid you as you run and come up ready to fire. Obviously, the handgun's a little bit more quick, But there are perks to make your draw time quicker on your weapon after a sprint, but just be aware of where your enemy is and don't sprint at your enemy. Don't sprint into crosshairs. Take your corners walking so you can pull the trigger. The difference is I could pre-shoot this corner walking, or I could sprint around this corner and I won't be able to fire my gun if I'm sprinting. You're pulling the trigger will cut off your run animation. It'll cut off your sprint animation. But that takes time to pull your gun up off of that. Whereas, just walking around the corner. Now, another thing you'll notice I do in a lot of my videos is right at the beginning of the video, I'll switch to my secondary. Now, that could be a handgun or a knife, depending on if I'm running a secondary or not. Every secondary in this game, almost every, is quicker than your primary. I'd say the exceptions are probably, I haven't tested it, the crossbow might be heavier. The launchers are for sure all heavier than your primaries, so you'll move slower with those. But if you have a handgun or you have your ballistic knives or you have just a regular combat knife, you're going to get quicker to your location. So let's say I'm playing headquarters and my spawn is over here on this side of the map. And I want to get to the prime location first off the spawn to get a good start to the map. That's crucial in a lot of my games, is getting a good jump on the map. So what I'll do is I'll spawn in with my primary weapon. Take no prisoners, comrades. I'll immediately switch to my secondary and run as far as I can with my secondary. And then when I know the enemy's going to be there, I'll pop my primary back out and look to fire. But if they're running with their primary at me from the other direction, and they don't use their handgun to run, they're going to be slower, they're going to get to the spot slower, and they're going to get annihilated. And again, all this is this is all unaided by perks. This is without perks helping you. You'll notice in a lot of my videos, if you watch any of my videos, is I run fast hands. It's because I like to be able to swap weapons quicker. I like to be able to throw my C4 faster. I like to be able to throw anything I have on my classes faster. I like to play fast. But I like to play fast within a rusher's mentality. So I'll use perks to aid in my rushing where I don't have to slow down, like Tac Mask, instead of extreme conditioning or dexterity. And then I'll run Flak Jacket as a perk 1 instead of lightweight, because I know my routes, I know what I'm going to do, I know how I'm going to play. I'm not going to jump from a super high area on a level and die. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to find a way down and around where I won't get hurt, whereas I wouldn't need the perk lightweight to help aid in not taking falling damage. It's about assessing your situation and knowing the fastest route to get to the enemy to kill them. You'll notice another thing that I do in my videos is I jump and lay down and jump and duck and dive and dodge and dip and duck and dive. That's what I call duck and dodge and dip and duck and dive and duck and dodge and dip. That's what I do is when I know an enemy's shooting at me, let's say there's a guy down here sitting in this doorway shooting at me, I never want to stay in a straight line. Again, this video is all about tips for mobility without the aid of perks. I don't want to sit here in a straight line firing at him. I want to be moving back and forth, and if he's shooting at me, this game, unlike a few other games like Modern Warfare 3, you can take bullet damage a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time. And if you jump and duck and lay and dodge and dip, you could get behind cover before the enemy kills you. I don't dolphin dive unless it's a last ditch attempt to getting away from something. But if I have an enemy shooting at me, sure, I might jump up and duck and hide and get behind cover and do whatever I can to make myself a hard target to hit. So in this video, I've told you about running with your secondary to get you to places faster, jumping to objects instead of just walking up to them and climbing. I've told you about make sure you take the smart tactic and go the best route to getting somewhere where your gun is steady longer. You see, example right here, it takes how long? 1, 2, 3, about 3 seconds with my gun unready. If I take 2 steps to the left and jump up here, my gun's ready instantly. It takes like 1 second and my gun is unready. There'd be no reason to jump up here unless you were doing something. But that's just to point out the example of that. And I showed you the knife tactic where you knife as you go up the ladder or you go up an object. Most commonly ladders. Knifing gets your gun ready to aim quicker. And just jumping up to objects gets you going to the object quicker. If you watch any of my other videos, you watch a couple episodes of the Pwn Zone where it's my gameplay commentary videos, you'll notice I do a lot of these tactics. Not always, because sometimes they're not to my benefit. Like if I know there's a guy up here and he's sound whoring, say he's listening, he's going to hear me knife the ladder and he's going to come right to the ladder and he's going to kill me. But if I know he's not paying attention or there's a battle going on up top or whatever, or if I know I need to get up there quickly, say I've got a guy following me or something, or no, because that wouldn't make much sense to have your gun ready at the top. Let's say I know a guy's running into this window and he's hopping up and hopping up and hopping up. Well, I could try to meet him up there and get my gun ready quicker than him by using the knife trick rather than, just going up the ladder and waiting. Again, handguns have short aim down sight time no matter what, but every other gun, it's a good idea to knife the ladder if the occasion calls for it. Plan out your routes, plan out your attack on the enemy, think ahead. It's something that you learn as you play the game, but think ahead strategies and plans before you just go in and start shooting, or before you just... Hopefully this video will get you moving. If you're the type of player that sits in a corner waiting for people, hopefully this video will get you moving. Go up to an edge, strafe around it, aim. If you know a guy's there, pre-shoot it, But hopefully this video gives you some tips, some tricks, some things you didn't know about, some different techniques and styles to get in places quicker. Again, jump when the occasion calls for it. Don't walk up and pull yourself anywhere. It's something that takes time getting used to. A lot of people will jump through the windows. They'll walk up to the window edge and then they'll pull themselves through. Try jumping. Try jumping and crouching. It's just little things like this that get you on your way faster. Like if I'm being shot at, that is much quicker than walking up to it and pulling myself through. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video again. Hope you learned a couple things. And as always, I will catch you next time. Peace.